To the professional development session for culturally responsive teaching practices. Here is an outline of our agenda for today. These are the learning objectives we will strive to accomplish as a group. We will describe how to establish a student-centered classroom that encourages collaboration. We will identify relevant content and curriculum that is supportive of emergent bilinguals. We will prioritize a positive classroom culture that allows students to feel valued and accepted by their teachers and peers. And finally, we will generate ideas on how to incorporate culturally responsive teaching within our own classrooms. Before we begin, I would like to take a quick poll. Please raise your hand if you have ever heard of culturally responsive teaching. Okay. Now please raise your hand if you would feel comfortable explaining culturally responsive teaching. Much less hands. That is exactly what I expected to happen. Let's first take a look at what it means to be culturally responsive. Culturally responsive teaching is structured around the idea of incorporating the diverse backgrounds, languages, and experiences of students into the classroom. The goal of being culturally responsive is to help students feel valued at school. Each student has their own identity that deserves to be acknowledged. By doing so, teachers foster a learning environment that is engaging and promotes equity. Our first practice in culturally responsive teaching is the student-centered classroom. When students are the main focus of the daily routine, they feel valued by their teachers and peers. Furthermore, structuring the classroom around students empowers them to learn. Student-centered classrooms promote collaborative learning. When teachers encourage students to work together, they learn how to communicate effectively. Through collaboration, students reflect on their learning individually and as a group. Communication with peers also promotes self-advocacy in students, even for emergent bilinguals, because they feel comfortable in the learning environment. In order to generate a student-centered classroom, the teacher must create activities, discussions, and content that give students the opportunity to take ownership of their learning. One way to accomplish this is by implementing project-based learning. When working on projects, students are required to use their skills like collaboration and critical thinking. Projects that are conducted over an extended time frame help students gain a deeper understanding of the content they are learning. During the process, students can develop new skills, especially those that prepare them for the real world. Projects support students because they can work at their own pace and learn about information that is relevant to their learning needs. Next, we have culturally relevant content and activities. Another way to implement culturally responsive teaching is to create relevant content and curriculum that helps students connect to their backgrounds. Relevant content includes materials and classwork that acknowledges all cultures. The cultural background of the students should be incorporated into the curriculum. Students feel accepted when they have the opportunity to share about their cultures and languages. Integrating culture into the content fosters high expectations for students because they do not feel less than. Instead, they feel as if they are a part of the learning environment. One approach to bringing relevant content into the classroom is through books. Students are very observant, and they will notice if a classroom library is not representative of them. Teachers can implement culturally responsive practices by having a multilingual classroom library with varied grade level books. Students feel welcome in a classroom when they see book covers that have characters that look just like them. Reading books that are relevant to their backgrounds is important to their overall learning experience. Our third culturally responsive teaching practice is creating a positive classroom culture. Culturally responsive teaching is dependent on a positive classroom culture. In a classroom that supports diverse learners, students must feel like they belong. Teachers can create this environment by addressing bias and inequity. This can happen through open communication with students and their families. Sharing ideas, values, and opinions creates an open environment where students feel as if they can participate in conversations. Teachers can establish this by focusing on building trust and relationships with their students. From the first day of school, teachers should focus on creating bonds with each student. This is especially beneficial to emergent bilinguals who may not feel comfortable in the classroom yet. In order to accomplish this, teachers can have morning meetings with their students where everyone is welcome to share their thoughts and feelings. Another opportunity for this is by designating certain points in the year where students can present information about their cultures to their peers. When everyone learns about all of the cultures, each student feels like they belong to something bigger than themselves. Before we end our session, please place yourself into small groups with the people around you for a short discussion. I am asking everyone to reflect on the culturally responsive practices addressed today. I would also like you to discuss how you could use one of these strategies in your classroom or content area. Thank you, and here's a list of references for the presentation.